All right, good afternoon. Welcome back here to Trader Minute. Great to have you aboard. I'm on about 15 minutes early here this afternoon. There's not a whole lot going on out there. We see some stocks up pretty good, some stocks down pretty good. There's definitely that same element of mixture that is out there. Market vibe remains at neutral as it's been all week. Pretty much feels like it's been there all month here with the market's internals, and the market kind of just snapping back some of its losses here from yesterday. Now, big week of earnings this week. The market has heard from the likes of Intel and the likes of Amazon and Google and Starbucks and all the other ones we saw earlier this week, the Boeings of the world. So a lot of earnings for fund managers to digest and to take a look at. And then next week is going to also be a big earnings week with a lot of the S&P 500 companies reporting. Now, I do have the economic data calendar up here for next week, and next week's a very busy week in terms of economic data. We will have some of the Chinese manufacturing numbers later on Tuesday night, and then we have the FOMC, Fed Open Market Committee here with the rate decision here on Wednesday. So they'll have their meeting announcement, and it is expected that they will cut rates by 0.25%. But again, anything can happen. We'll see how that plays out, but that's going to be on the eyes of the market. And then we're going to get the front end month economic data here at the beginning of August, and then the jobs report here on Friday. So jam packed with all of the earnings that are happening. We're going to get a ton of economic data. We're going to get the Fed. We're going to get the Bank of Japan. We are going to get a lot. This is going to be kind of next week will be the biggest deluge of data for the markets. That the markets will see for probably another 3 months, right? And so it's definitely going to be a pivotal one, and it's one where I'll be looking for signs that, hey, some of the market internals are shifting or changing here overall. Now, for the challenge, no new signals on the board today. It has been ghostly in terms of new signals. We've seen Bank of America target Triple D here in about the last 2 weeks. It has just absolutely been a ghost town of signals, and I'm not too surprised. I mean, we went through the watch list, we showed kind of what was going on and everything, but would love to see this thing turn around a little bit. We got some cash and ready to go, but I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to force it if the signal is not there. We'll not go out and trade it. Now, we do have 2 positions on the board right here. We have Bank of America and Target. Now, Bank of America, Target will come into because we got to exit Target. Bank of America option is $2 here, so that's had a nice little increase here this afternoon. And then Target, it's hitting our time stop, and it's not at our stock exit level, but is at our time stop, and so I am going to go ahead and back on out of Target here and take the contracts off the board. This is going to be our biggest loss of the challenge, I believe, and $1.50 is my exit price. So out of Target here at $1.50. So let me make sure the alert goes out there for Target and the exit. We got in at $2.35, and we're out at $1.50. Definitely the wrong way, but are now free and clear of Target. Yeah, $1,100 loss, which is our biggest loss of the challenge. In fact, if you add up all the losses for the challenge, I believe it totals about $1,100. So it doubled our losses for the challenge. And I guess I shouldn't, say that. I guess I should be depressed about that. But yeah, it stinks. It's terrible. I hate having that happen, but at the same time, I expect it to happen a little more often than what it is happening, and so I'm not going to I'm not going to get too fussed about it. And yeah, moving on. All right. So that leaves us with Bank of America. Leaves us with the $3,600 in play, and the rest in cash. So we have almost $1,100 in cash here to burn. We did add some challenge gains here this week. What about 1,500? So that's nice. But Bank of America pretty much carried us. It offset target here just a little bit. But anyway, that's where the challenge sits, where it lies, and ready to go and attack on any new signals. Now, Bank of America, its first time stop doesn't come in till Monday. And the price target on Bank of America is 31.72. So Bank of America still has a ways to go to get there. 31.72. I mean, that's definitely going to put it into a new high. We need to see kind of a big shot up for that to happen. Okay. Now, one thing I do know is when we look at these price targets, right? The price targets here on the options. For a lot of these trades, some of those price targets, they look quite far away. They look kind of, wow, that's going to be really tough to get to, right? In fact, Bank of America, when we made the entry, right, and the initial price target up here at, 30.60? I mean, that looked a mile away, right? That looked very far away. There's no way it's going to hit 30.60. Come on, even if it breaks and moves into a trend, 30.60, that's a long way up. That's hard to visualize, right? So right now, 31.72 looks a long way up. That's hard to visualize, right? And, the reality is that, that doesn't matter. Yeah, it just doesn't matter. It's one of those where we continue to see the market operate within these average true ranges and, especially the way the trends operate. And how these trends will just go up. They'll hit that average true range area. We saw it with Boeing in the position we were in. And, we get in right here and boom, it just moves the two average true ranges. And that's where it finds resistance, right? Now, when they've broken through that resistance, they've hit that secondary target. But, over the course of this, the summer here, a lot of things have struggled to hit that secondary target. But, there's something about that two average true range that we just continue to see as far as, targets after some of these signals. And I expect that to continue here as we go forward. All right. So challenge is sitting on 14,000 in gains, so up around 17,000. Would sure be nice to push up into 20 grand here sooner than later. But Target didn't help us out there. Bank of America certainly helping us out there, and we'll see kind of how next week unfolds. Thanks for being with us here at Trader Minute. Glad to have you. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend, and we will talk to you Monday. Take care.